Hello everyone, welcome to my lesson for Trash by Silverchair. Couple of disclaimers before I get started. Number one, I'm trying to do this one mostly by ear because I've seen a few tabs on the internet and they seem very wrong. So I'm going to try to do my best from ear, and I think I got most of it, to be fair, but the other thing is the tuning seems to be in drop D flat, which is you tune all your strings down a half step and then drop your D. So it should be C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, or sorry, C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. That's what you want to tune to. So it's just like a drop D, only everything is an additional half step down. So let's get into the intro. Okay, so the intro is a distorted piano, and you can approximate the notes on guitar. So I'm gonna try to show you how I do it anyway. So you're gonna start on the 18th fret of the high E string and go 18, 16, 14, 13, and then 14, 13, and then you go to 16 on the G string, and then 14, 13, 11 on the high E, 13 on the G, 11 on the high E, 13 on the G, 14 on the B, and then 12 on the B. So all the way through, slowly, it should sound like this. So that's the intro. And then we'll get into the second part of the intro. Alright, so the intro riff, it's not too hard, and it starts on, it's all power chords on the, you'll be using the A and D string pair and the low E and A string pair, so like 2-finger and 1-finger power chords. You start at 6 on the A string and 8 on the D string, and you play that and slide it down 1 fret. Then you're going to palm mute the open low strings, and then 2 on the low E and A. In that fashion. It's a little bit tricky for me to explain all the muting and the rhythm, but if you just listen to it slowly, you should be able to pick it up. So I'll go through it again. And the second part of the riff, you would slide up to 6 on the low E and A. So all together. So you play both parts twice, and then there's a short rest, and then you start them over again. And then it's just 4 open palm mutes on the low strings. So that's pretty much it for the intro riff, and so we'll move along to the verse riff next. Now the verse riff is played 2 ways. And when he first plays it, it'll all be on the A and D strings. So you start at 5 and 7 on the D, or on the A and D strings. Go up to 10 and 12. Then down to 8 and 10. 11 and 13. And then start at 5 and 7 again, and walk up 1 fret at a time. So So altogether slow, it should be like this. Now, when he first plays that, it will all be on those strings. He'll play it through twice, and then when the bass and the drums join in, you can either continue playing it that way through the verse, or you can play the easy way, which is lower, but it's much easier because you can play it on the low 2 strings with 1 finger power chords. So you just go open, 5, 3, 6, and then 0, 1, 2, 3. So whichever way you find more comfortable should be the way that you play it. Or you can mix it up and do both. You could start with the high, go to the low when the drums and bass join in. It's up to you. So moving along. Now during the breakdown, you'll hear like random noises, like little pick scrapes and odd harmonics and stuff. Those are kind of random, so I'm not going to go over those. But there is a little theme that you'll hear, and it kind of sounds like, at least that's how I hear it. So that will be 9 on the B string, 9, 8, 7 on the G string, and then 6 on the D string. And that'll repeat a few times throughout the breakdown. So now, and in between you'll also hear harmonics and random noises and feedback and stuff. That's a little hard for me to explain, like the exact notes that you need to hear, but you can just wing it. So whoops. You know, just wing it. Hey, at the end of the breakdown, you'll hear him play that little melody twice, and then you'll start palm muting the low E and A strings, and then there'll be a harmonic, and this one's a little bit tricky to find the right note, so it's kind of right there, and it's on the 3rd fret of the D string, but it's slightly in front of the 3rd fret, like so. If you go a little behind that, it gets a little too high. So you have to be just slightly in front, like not a whole lot. It's a little weird, but that's where I found the note anyway. It might be easier to play somewhere else, but I just couldn't find it anywhere else. So anyway, after that it goes back into the intro riff. And so on. And then you'll hear another breakdown that kind of sounds like this. So that's open, low E and A, and then 1, then 2, then 3, then open 5, 3. And that'll go on a few times, and then you'll hear him switch from that to the low version of the verse riff. So and you'll play through that until the song ends on the open chord. And again you'll hear and then there's random notes notes after that. But anyway, that's pretty much the whole song. It's not too hard, and it may not be right, like I said, disclaimer. And also, if you heard my strings going out of tune, it's because they're a little light gauge for this tuning, but this was the easiest guitar to get in that tuning right now. So anyway, long story short, that's the end of the song. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope it wasn't too far off the actual song. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys, and I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.